was able to secure the triple there for Betzinger to finally get it. And we saw the golem being utilized, maybe like you said, expecting a Tessa farm over by that town hall. Didn't end up finding it, able to grab that value, and still was able to get it done. The Tessa farm was over by the 3 o'clock side where the enemy queen was, and that tornado trap. Maybe they were expecting a different attack on that base, but brilliant a job. And now Tribe knows that if they don't bring a 3-star in this next attack, it's going to be a tough road to climb to make a comeback.
That's right. Then that would not be a good start, especially considering their average stats. But Maxi, I said it earlier already, that any of those teams can win a match. That's why it's important that we have a double elimination system to really make sure that you're able to have this one bad match. But still, we have now Rikiris himself going in with his Lalo. And he's utilizing that bad spell to actually create this funnel at the top side, take down the air defense, and with that safe blimp now is going to take down the tunnel, which means there is sneaky goblins inside, take down the tunnel for sure, and in addition, blow out the clan castle.
Beautiful job here as now the queen can take care of these headhunters. Town hall is down. And there's some lightning to help take down the single target Inferno. Doesn't grab the Builder Hut, damages the Wizard Tower a little bit as it's repairing itself. As now the Queen's going to take out the defending Hound with that next poison spell. As he's going to set up the pathing to loop this Queen to the enemy Queen towards the left side, it looks to be. And the Queen is out of range of these defenses. Safe so far as he wall breaks in. King should help follow in behind this Ice Golem now, as he's looking to get some really nice values. He can wall break again to try to go all the way for that multi-target Inferno.
Yeah, he's trying to get to that multi-Inferno tower using the Valkyrie as well versus possible skeleton traps. The King has to work really hard to get towards that scatter, but now the Royal Champions have there as well. The wall break has worked, but at the same time, the question now is Queen actually going there, or is she instead going for the gold storage? Sweeper, but then gold storage, or where is she? Okay, she's going there. I would have been scared because she could have reached from the tunnel compartment the gold storage as well. And now he's starting with the auto right away. There's only 1 minute and 20 seconds left, so he needs to make this a quick one.
That got so much value. His World Champion is even still up, moving his way through. The Tesla farm is over on the backside by the scatter shot. That's where he can pop the Warden and Eternal Tome. Nope, he decides to pop it now, which actually protects a Lava Hound through this area. And we might have an issue with the sweepers, but no, the World Champ, she's going to go in for the multi, and that's going to help tremendously here for this Lalo portion.
Yeah, especially again, the almighty sweeper, which so far has already messed up a lot of attacks, is getting taken care of in that Royal Champion. That was so clutch to keep that Royal Champ alive. He's having more minion, even a Sneaky Goblin for the top storage to come in. And this means it is going to be a 3-star Border Tribe coming as well. They're staying close. We have said they are having 40 stars on average. They're trying to crawl back into the 14-star position because we have seen over the group stage 14 stars many, many times was the crucial number to get those teams the victories. And now it's back to Betzinger. They still have the possibility of 3-star all of the remaining attacks and win this match, which is way easier said than done in this stage of the competition.
Well, they have the chance because they got the one number that you've always known to get, as we always do. What is that? I think the 99, right? The 99% D-star that came in from Betzinger. Maxi brought it up, right? So I mean, I had to bring it up too. But it's the classic number that nobody wants to be getting. But hey, if you are going to fail, that is the number you want to have. You want to have the highest percentage, because at the end of the day, if these teams are all tied in stars, that is the next tiebreaker, is the average destruction percentage. But then if that's tied, then you go on the average attack duration, who's attacking faster. And that's why you saw maybe Nebrex, you started to bring in the E-Dragon attacks, because if they come down to, let's say, a perfect war, obviously you can't do that, but that is definitely a possibility in future wars. That one attack can help tremendously in speeding up the rest of the hits in terms of average attack time, and can give your team an advantage when it comes down to that. But Pertama is trying to give his team an advantage with a 3-star here.
And we're seeing more bats coming in again for tanking for air defense. This is now something which we have seen multiple times from those pros. Victorious did that already as well. And another blimp. Just the blimp is just so popular to take down the town hall early on. This time around, though, he's not going to do out the clan castle, which in most of those cases you want to get. But I feel like in this one he's totally happy with not doing it out. And yep, there the town hall goes down.
Yeah. And a lot of times on these bases, tornado traps tend to be placed behind the town hall where the single target inferno is, because you send the blimp across the base, and that's where you find the tornado trap. You may be seeing a lot of bases starting to move those tornado traps around, but he's looking like it finds some Teslas popping up near this scatter shot, drops a poison spell to try to help deal with these ground skeletons that popped up, but his heroes are taking a lot of damage. The RC's ability has been forced. The Queen's not being utilized, and does he get the value he's looking for here?
The anti-minion red mine at the top right side, right? But yeah, he got the Roy champ. He got the scatter with the Roy champ in the end. But still, I'm not 100% sure if that was all what he needed. But at the same time, all of those traps are now gone. All of those ground skeleton traps are gone now, which gives this nice possibility to push through. And at the same time, though, the defending king is going to attack that queen now. That queen has the force ability, so I'm not sure if that value offer was that great.
Yeah, but remember, he's got bats. The dragons have cleared a lot of this base. 5 bats and 4 freezes. Bats can do a tremendous amount of work. But the problem is the splash damage. Yeah, that multi-target Inferno is standing. He's going to do a little bat wave from the right side, freezing that multi up. That scatter shot hits these bats. Oh, no. He loses a ton of them. Yeah, the Wizard Tower. Wow.
Yeah, he tried to go fancy. I mean, we could argue bats. We don't see those too often. So this was somewhat of a fancy attack, even so we see now the really scary combination of the dragon and the unicorn. But that the scatter got skipped, or that more like the multi-throwing tower got skipped in first place was the biggest problem for him. But just this dead zone around that building just made all of those dragons go left, go right, but not to the multi-throwing tower. And that was the crucial problem. To make this attack fail. And take a look at that percentage. We have talked about the percentage that, yes, 99%, I mean, it's not the greatest percentage, but at the same time, it is the best of the worst percent you can get, kind of. So, and this is an 80% 2-star, not the percentage range where you want to finish when you're failing. So, huge defense right there for Tribe Gaming, and that is well, if they can utilize that now, a huge lead, because defense is one thing. I like to say that, okay? Defense is one thing, but you need to get something out of it on offense as well. If you're now getting like a 79%, there's like the defense is not really worth that much. So we now need to get a really solid attack in to claim the lead back, and that is now what is all important for Tribe in their next attack.
Absolutely, because if Tribe triples, not only will they bring back the average destruction percentage, they'll take the lead, but they will have the lead by 1 star. So that is a big advantage here with the next attacker coming in for a Tribe to try to take that lead and hang on to it. Because we've seen these wars come down to average attack stars, with Tribe being up to 14 stars, meaning they usually only fail less than 1 attack per match. Wait, how can you fail on average? Well, it means you get a ton of perfect wars, you get a ton of 14-star wars, and that's what they do. And they're used to putting up a bunch of triples, but they can't be expecting that. They need to always try their best and bringing in their best potential attacks here, as we're seeing Kronos with the log launcher behind the king to try to help snipe that multi-target Inferno as he takes down that defending king with ease. And this king ability can get some real nice value. Is he going to go to the left? Yes. He's going to go over, grab the ground expos. The log launcher is clearing up the score.
Wow, that queen now stepping inside. So he's going to get that defending queen. He already took down the defending king. And now, depending on what is in the clan castle, he might even take down the defending royal champion if he decides to rage the Yetis or anything like that. But so far, the value already is looking incredible. Queen ability. He's taking down this Getter 2 Carbon. And yes, he invested the siege, but at the same time, he has the full Lalo army still left. With the addition of the Warden, using now the lightning at the bottom side. We have seen that last week already. He's using now an ice sound to fly across the town hall to trigger the tornado trap if it's around the town hall early on. And is it? Yes, and there. Which means he's getting the auto freeze onto the town hall as well. So this is an incredible start.
Look at that. What an incredible value. Raging now over the town hall. Doesn't have to worry about a tornado trap spinning and slowing him down as he's passing this over. There's a poison spell. Finds that Tesla farm. It seems like every single one of these attacks that Tribe has done is finding a back end Tesla farm as he's making his way around. Has the skeleton spell to use over by that multi-target Inferno to tank some of the Inferno beams. He's moving his way through. The lava hound still up. Needs that hound to go pop and help with the lava pups as he's got them all around the base. Has an invisibility spell, can avoid the ground expo if he wants. No, doesn't even need to worry. It goes down, and we've got ourselves a 3-star here from Kronos of Tribe Gaming.
And it seems to be like a Betzinger special because I don't know if it's true, but just reading the chat at the same time, Stefan is saying that this is actually a Tribe base versus a Tribe Gaming. So that might be not the smartest choice. This backfires quite a bit. Betzinger, not copying the right bases right there. And this means Tribe Gaming, Kronos getting this 3-star in, which is quite clutch. So this means they have said they need to take advantage of their incredible defense. They did exactly that. And now they have the percentage that you can see at the bottom of your screen. They have the percentage and the star lead in this match up after 3 attacks each.
That is what they are looking for, to take that lead back, because, they were a little nervous after they saw Neebrex coming in with a fail and lower than what Hosea Betzinger did, which means that, hey, you got to hope for another defense to have that lead, or at least a chance to take the lead back with a 3-star. They do just that. Brilliant attack. It's just crazy the value that these players can get in their attacks here. We have a few more attacks coming for this first match, and there's 8 total. 7 more matches here today in this double elimination bracket, and then tomorrow we will be back with either 6 or potentially 7 to crown a golden ticket champion of this Queso Cup 2nd edition. Plus, if you win the golden ticket tomorrow, you're also going to be winning $20,000. That's pretty nice.
That's pretty nice indeed. And in addition to that, the golden ticket is even cooler this year because we have the first live, in-person event now with the World Championship, the final. That's right. It's going to be incredible. I'm super hyped for that. The teams obviously as well, so they want to reach that final. So this golden ticket is all what they need to get to that point. Ano is in with some Lado. He's bringing some Dragon Riders as well to make sure that this core multi-throne tower is not dealing as much damage to his dude.
Yeah, with that queen trying to path her way into the town hall, you've got an invisibility spell to utilize if he wants to for this queen, but looks like she's going to walk her way in. Yes, she steps into the open compartment of this town hall, pops her ability and helps take that down. There's a lot of players, right, that are wondering why there are openings in this wall. Itsu, can you walk us through why bases would have openings like this?
Yeah, let me explain why those bases have those openings. It is all about to mess up not only the hero pathing, sometimes to make it more unpredictable, but as well to mess up the pathing for wall breakers. Because with that, wall breakers tend to completely do different things what you expect. And that is one of the most crucial things, because if those pros, if you give them a little bit of time to actually plan out attacks, it is not going to end up well for the base. But instead now we have the Lalo entering that scatter compartment. And with that freeze, he's keeping all of those loons alive, and now the dragon and dragon rider from the slammer is getting pushed into the core as well. There's getting no base. What a wonderful attack this was.
Brilliant attack here from Ano, and has all these balloons left, and hey, he didn't have to really worry about the openings in the walls as the queen, remember, did receive a little bit of an AI change a little while ago where she was more likely to walk into the opening or the compartment of a certain section if the wall was open. So that kind of helps with the queen walking in. But that can also hurt if you did want your queen to necessarily walk in. You wanted to walk around for, let's say, queen charges. We've seen that happen plenty of times where your queen goes the wrong way, and then you're wondering, like, wait, why did my queen just walk in randomly? Well, I thought she was going to walk, let's say, left or right around that compartment. That's usually the reason why, because of a little bit of a change. But you know, these players are always staying on top of the changes, always adapting their attacks, adapting to the metas, and of course adjusting to the base design. So we'll always be seeing new stuff. And we know by the time the World Championship comes around in the end of September, then it's going to be probably a completely different landscape, and maybe even a whole new meta is going to be coming in.
Yeah, I feel like especially with the bases, we have already said it, like the last stage of the tournament, the group stage, we have seen completely different bases from most of those teams. So in just this different stages of one tournament, we have already seen the shift of bases of the defending meta, kinda. And yeah, exactly as you have said, sometimes those queens or the heroes in general are like pathing inside. I feel like one thing which I wanted to mention is, especially in like air attacks, like dragon type attacks, having the heroes walk inside the base and lure out maybe a lava hound is one of the worst things to happen, like which could happen. Well, for example, if the wall is closed, they're staying on the outside, the flankers never is getting lured, so that is as well like one of the multiple reasons why you can have those openings. So it's kind of like an endless story, but at the same time, you don't want to have too many of them. Either way, now it's back to try to get their 3-star in to keep their lead, or maybe they're going to keep the door open for Bitzinger to stay inside this match. We have Exorcist coming in with the Queen George allowed with the strategy, which he is running in Legends as well. So now we have to take a look at if we can put this into some 3-stars in this match as well.
Going with that Blimp Rage, trying to help take down the Eagle, uses a Rocket Loon, which tests the area for traps if he was going to have potentially balloons fly their way over as the Rage is down for this Queen. Takes out the World Champion, drops the balloon to test for sinking air mines, and he doesn't find any, just finds an additional Tesla, taking out this ground skeleton with the double balloons onto the double Archer Tower. That goes down really quickly and easily, doesn't have to worry about that. But we have 3 more super wall breakers for this Queen as he's going to try to charge her towards this town hall now here.
Yeah, it's all about into the direction of the town hall. The sweeper should actually help to make sure those healers are staying for sure out of range of that multi-inferno tower. Now he has the king at the top side. Maybe he needs to be careful with that barracks. The king has to go to the left. Is he doing that? No,
he's not.
The king is not going inside that compartment. That is now really bad news for him. He had the rocket loot, so he had no sneaky goblin within his army to get that started. Now instead he has to start with a lot from the top side. At the same time, he has the Royal Champion life to support that king on the far right side. Maybe that was his plan all the way. Who knows?
Oh, maybe. Well, he uses that freeze now onto the multi as the Queen needs to continue her way to the left near that town hall as he drops Headhunters. He can pop the Warden Eternal Tome, rages up over the core. King's ability. He's going to go try to take out these skellies. Freezes out that enemy Queen as the balloons are missing the multi-target Inferno. Okay, they do come back around. They need to take it down. The single target behind the town hall is going to be a problem, going to be an issue, but he still has the RC and Queen ability to use.
Yeah, Queen ability now is getting forced to make sure that she's taking down the town, but she's inside the range of the single target Inferno Tower, and that is really bad news. The healers might transition over, so maybe that is good to tank the single Inferno Tower. That Royal Champion has to go there. We have the Wall Breaker triggering the Tornado Trap. Royal Champion coming maybe in clutch, and the single Inferno Tower is going down. Okay.
What?
That was maybe a little bit close.
The timing. That is, sometimes you just have to give luck a little bit of credit there. It's not always going to plan. And we saw a brilliant job to get that 3-star Exorcist stated with it, and even used that super wall break at the end to see if he can sneak its way in, maybe tank the Inferno beam just a little bit, and he did. And now that is another triple here for Tribe Gaming.
I mean, the super wall breaker tanked like maybe for like 1 second. In addition,
that's all you might need.
As soon as like a super wall breaker explode, it deals damage, right? Not only
True.
to walls, but as well to buildings. And we have seen how close this was in the end. So maybe this 1 second of tanking plus the super wall breaker damage, maybe that was all what it takes to have the difference. So yes, it was quite lucky in the end, but still incredible reacted by Exorcist to get this 3-star because without the wall break, this would have maybe not worked. So really, really close attack. You have to say that, a bit of bad luck for Bazinger, but they are now up next to get their next 3-star on the board to keep the pressure high to force maybe another 3-star in then from Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, because if we have a 3-star, they're going to have to force a triple from Tribe. But if they don't, then a 3-star, then Tribe can still tie it up on stars in terms of a 2-star because of the fail that came in earlier from Badzinger, or at least the 2 fails that they had. But Hugo, now the final attack for Badzinger is coming in, and he's going to have a queen charge with the he's got some Lalo, but he's also got some hogs in the mix, which this is to probably pull the clan castle out early so that he doesn't have to deal with it near that single target Inferno.
Yeah, I feel like those town hall charges nowadays are getting so tricky because of the single Inferno towers behind the town hall. We have those anti-smash walls next to the town hall, so the queen is even getting forced inside the town hall poison. So overall, really not easy to charge the town hall anymore. And with those hogs, they're kind of like preventing that single Inferno tower to utilize all of the power it has with that positioning. So nicely done by Hugo right there. Now the king on the right side to force that queen maybe further inside, and he's going to wall break at the multi, but maybe he's going to try to wall break at the single Inferno tower as well, because so far the queen is now going to skip that single Inferno tower, and that is dangerous because, I mean, the single Inferno tower out of range, which can reach your queen, that hurts.
Yeah, that's going to be an issue here as he rages this queen up, but there is the wall break, which will target onto the clan castle and can loop this queen back around to eventually grab this town hall. Are you serious?
That charge.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just speechless. That charge is such a beauty. The louder shouting, yes, you said it. Royal Champ taking the scatter, which is nice, even with her ability left, and he's even adding the slammer, so things are not looking too bad, but the queen now has to get the town hall.
Yeah, she needs to loop her way back to the town hall, and she took out the enemy king. She's stepping in, and she should go for it after the storage. And yeah, she comes back, pops the ward ability. This is an incredible charge, leaving the town hall here for the end. The queen ability will go off to help eventually take out the air expo. Freezes up that multi. The ability goes off there. There's a giant bomb, but the queen's ability is enough to grab this town hall. And look at that, incredible to get this queen to loop around, back to the core, and then come back down for that town hall. What an incredible attack from Hugo.
That has to be the queen charge of the day so far. I mean, that was just genius. I was kind of scared with that single Inferno tower staying alive for maybe too long, but just this queen pathing with that wall break, that was just genius. And with that, Badzinger are getting that 3-star in, finishing on 13 stars. But now you said it at the beginning of the attack, Tribe, because they have the percentage, they might be even fine with like a high percentage 2-star to finish off this match. At the same time, though, they want to still keep their average, right? They want to keep their average, which is those 14 stars on offense. Yeah. So that's not the question. If they can keep that, or if they are finishing on 13 stars as well, or even lower, who knows?
Yeah, we'll have to see what they're going to be finishing up with, but we know they're going for a triple, right? A 3-star will secure them the victory no matter what, but then they're starting to play with fire. If they don't get that triple, they can still potentially win off of 2-star percentage. We'll have to take a look and keep you updated on what that number may be, but what is going to be the final attack from Fluxy? That's going to be coming in for a Tribe. He's come in with many other attacks in the clutch, in the end, which he's had to triple, and he's done it before. So the pressure is on. He's used to some of this pressure, but this is a double elimination, so this is the first match. If you lose this, you are not eliminated. You still have a chance, as it looks like we got kind of 2 Fluxies here. We got attacking almost. One enabled to take a look at Fluxy, but let's see what he can do with a Lala.
Yeah, an OP production call. Tribe Gaming needs 2 stars and 85%, or like, should say, the cloned Fluxy needs to get 2 stars and 85% to win this match for Tribe. We have the log launcher coming in from the top side. We have the King taking down the defending Royal Champion. Now, take a look at that wall break. That wall break is just crazy.
Wow.
The question now is that Queen even stepping inside? Because if she is, he took down already an air defending hero. The Mojang Towers, and yes, the Queen is stepping inside. What is going on? Clone Fluxy OP.
Look at that, but the log launcher doesn't take out that multi-target Inferno though. That could be a big problem. He wanted to try to, as the Queen is looping her way to the right. This is kind of a very similar tech to what Kronos did, but he doesn't have an Ice Hound here in the mix. But now that multi-target Inferno is actually getting repaired, so it's going to be quite annoying to fly back around as the Hound pulls 2 Seeking Air Mines right off the bat. Doesn't pull a Tornado Trap, pops, and oh, there it is. But these balloons will get spun a little bit as he tries to move his way through.
The Tornado Trap really making sure that Town of Poison is maybe getting some value in. That Mojang Fern Tower, you said it's staying alive. Fluxy is struggling to get the percentage. He's setting a lot of spells, but he needs to get to the 85%.
He keeps using the free spells all here on the Scattershot Tesla farm. He's got a ton of loons. He still has the Queen up with ability, and it's looking good here for Fluxy with a minute left. He's going to just now have to finish up over that multi-target Inferno. And wow, what an attack. Still gets it done when the multi didn't even go down from the log launcher. And what a hit, and that puts up 14 stars for Tribe Gaming, and that's what we talked about. One fail is what could be enough to lose against Tribe. You're going to have to try to be putting up those perfect wars to have the chance, and unfortunately, Betzinger does not do it. And you talked about it, Itzu, where Rikiris was saying that Betzinger have many times gone down to the lower bracket. But when they go down there, they are a team you do not want to face, because then they lay everything on the line and they start putting up amazing performance. We'll have to see if they can do that again in the lower bracket, as Tribe is going to be moving on, and Tribe will be waiting for the winner of Strut versus Renegados. So that could be an insane matchup to come, Itzu.
Yeah, I have said it earlier with Tribe Gaming and Strut being the 2 best teams when it comes down to the stats from the group stage. If they face off, that will be today, that match, Corbin. That match would be later today, if Strut is going to win. I mean, that's the first thing which kind of needs to happen for those 2 teams to face off. But if Strut is winning that next match, they are going to face Tribe Gaming later today, and we can see the bracket right there. Tribe Gaming won their first match, and this next match, Strut versus Renegados, is going to give the winner the opportunity to play versus Tribe Gaming. And I mean, Carl, that's just intense.
Yeah, it is intense. As you can see, there's tons of matches here. 7 more matches. We'll be finding out what 2 teams will be in the upper bracket round 3. So kind of almost the semifinals before the finals match. But we'll also be eliminating 2 teams later on today from the competition, as a golden ticket will be awarded to a team at the end of the day tomorrow, plus $20,000 out of the $50,000 prize pool here for the second edition of the Queso Cup. But we saw some incredible attacks there, from crazy queen charges to some log launchers coming in. One attack that I wanted to break down is one that came a little bit earlier in the match, which was Rikirez. And the reason why I want to break this one down is because this is a kind of a new way of using your siege machine, and this one is the blimp. So look at this, and not necessarily using the blimp for the town hall, but using the bat spells with balloons to take out an air defense. You're like, why is he doing this? Why is he using a bats and these balloons? Well, the reason is because he wants to send these balloons deeper into the base and potentially pull traps, seeking air mines, so that the blimp can be protected. And the bat spell is really nice at doing that. Then he comes in with some lightning spells to top it off, and this is where it goes for the single target Inferno. You're probably wondering, wait, why did he use lightning onto a single target Inferno when it doesn't do too much damage to your balloon? Right? Multi-target Infernos are way stronger, and they are way more menacing. Why didn't he take out that plus a sweeper that's in the core? Well, it comes down to pathing. He wanted to help keep this queen alive, path her in towards the middle so she's able to grab that multi-target Inferno. Because if that single was up, it would hit the queen, she wouldn't be able to reach it, and she wouldn't be able to get her value. That's the whole reason why. You gotta think about setting the pathing up for your Lalo. So as the blimp lightning clears the town hall section, we have the King Raw champion clearing the scatter shot on the left side, which now allows wall breakers to then path their way straight in. And notice what he did. He dropped two. He dropped one, then he dropped the other wall breaker a little bit, maybe like a half second later. And he didn't wait till the first wall breaker broke the wall. The reason why you do this is so that the wall breaker follows in, and then once it breaks that first wall, then it retargets. Because the problem is, if that first wall opens, then you drop that second wall breaker, it may not go where you want. It may go for a wall in the complete outside. It can change everything. So sometimes plural players decide to drop that second wall breaker just a half second later to help with the timing. That it's all planned. They do it on purpose. But look at this. It sets up a nice funnel for this Lalo to the bottom side, with a Warden ability to protect the headhunters through the section to help grab the heroes. But his Raw champion, he notices that the RC is still alive. He has an invisibility spell, so he says, I must use this invisibility onto the RC so it can take out that multi-target Inferno. If he planned for his RC to stay alive and get that, hey, that would have been amazing. But to me, that seems like it just happened to be she's alive. He reacted on the fly, and a lot of times with these types of attacks, you just don't plan out the whole thing to the very end, as it's just you're going to have to adapt on the fly, because no attack goes to plan 100%. But Rikira's, what a brilliant attack, using the bats, the blimp, the lightning, creating a brilliant funnel to get that queen to get even deeper into the core of this base and getting that value with the 3-star here to help give Tribe Gaming the victory over Badzinger in this very first match of the double elimination playoffs, Itsu.
That's right, Corbin. Thank you so much for breaking that attack down. And we want to introduce Maxi back to the caster table here, and we are going to take a look at this next match together. Maxi, I'm super excited. I hope you are as well.
Very much so. It was already a great war that you guys casted to start the day, but we have 7 more wars to watch. And yeah, the next one is actually the one I highlighted at the beginning, Strut Esports versus Renegaders. And you can see the clock at the bottom of the screen. Not much time left. Itsu, what do you think? Do you think that Renegados have prepared their bases with their defensive experts and are able to hold Strut back a bit? What do you think?
Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, Strut in this tournament so far looked incredible with their offense and defense. So I feel like they are for sure the favorites. But at the same time, you have mentioned in the beginning, like in the intro of this tournament, that any of those teams can beat any of the other teams in a good match. And let's take a look at the rosters first. Strut is coming in with the familiar names of Mask, Ast, Boom, Yo-Yo, and Tryhard. On the other side, Maxi, we have Renegados.
Yes, they are coming in with their lineup from last week. Jay Carlos, Esteban, Mr. Jeff, Troy Gomar, and Santiago are the ones that should get it done against Strut today. I don't really know if all of them build bases themselves or if they have a base builder team, but they are definitely doing something right. So it's going to be very exciting. And we can see the stats highlighted right here. What can you tell from these stats, Itsu?
Yeah, I mean, it's like stats-wise pretty one-sided. I mean, we have nearly 3 stars on average, more for Strat and their defense. And their percentage, the average Stripes is looking incredible as well. But let's see who is going to take that home. Take down this match victory. And we have Super Bowl, something which you have not seen within the first match just yet. And those Super Bowls are incredible, successful in Legends. So the question is, how successful can those be on those anti-3-star bases? And that's another thing again. The first match, we have seen only anti-3-star bases. Strat last weekend used those anti-3-star bases as well, using it again. And I cannot wait to see what then Renegados is using.
Yeah, right now a beautiful Warden charge, Warden walk, but it seems like he's going for the Eagle, and you can see that already 40 seconds are taken off the clock, and the Warden is also running into damage. So we are going to see a Rage spell soon, I'm pretty sure. There it goes. So there will be more than 1 minute down already, and sometimes we see these attacks, like Super Witch attacks, get close on time in the end. So we will have to see if this long Warden walk was worth his while in the end. But Renegados having to kick it off, and if they come in with a 3-star, they will already put a bit of pressure on Strut Esports, because Strut usually relies a lot on their bases as well. They don't have to, because they are so good on offense, but they know that their defenses usually defend extremely well. And we see Tryhard here defending, and later on we're also going to see him attacking. This is going to be really interesting, because he is perfect so far. Well, let's see if Santiago can get a perfect start, at least for his team in this attack. We see the Tesla farm popping off, and the Tesla farm is quite a problem here, because it pulls a lot of troops to the outside. Let's see where these Super Bowlers go. Okay, they are still in the center of the base, and the second jump spell leads the way into the Town Hall compartment, and this is where it always gets crucial in these types of attacks, because you start on the opposite side of the Town Hall, and you rely on at least your queen or a couple bowlers to get into the Town Hall, but we have the king there, we have the queen following, and it looks like the Town Hall is going down while the Royal Champion has taken out the 9 o'clock scatter shot. I'm going to say this doesn't look good though, because there is a lot of base left outside of this Town Hall compartment, and his troops somehow died out, especially his heroes. We only have a couple of skeletons from his witch and P.E.K.K.A with some wizards walking around the outside of the base, but we can see that there is still a Inferno Tower on multi, and this Inferno Tower is going to wreck these small troops, and we can see everything dying out. Santiago showing his phone into the camera, but this is the first defense for Strut Esports, and Renegados unfortunately with the fail, and he ends at 90%. And we have seen a lot of wars where this already means defeat against Strut, but the cards are shuffled again, completely new today, so we will have to see. Strut has to triple as well to get the lead. Let's see. It's not a given that you win a war when you start with the defense. So you first have to do the job yourself. You have to triple, and I'm going to be very excited to see who goes in first for Strut Esports. What did you think of that attack? It's anything in particular where you think this attack went sideways?
Yeah, I feel like overall with the Town of Poison, like as soon as everything is finishing in the Town of Poison, it is getting kind of tricky. With the bowlers which are left, and if then the Royal Team is not having enough hit points to circle around that Town of Poison, it's going to get for sure not as easy as he was thinking of with that attack. But I said as well, Strut is up next, and with that we have one of the Strut guys attacking, because they're quite flexible. They're quite flexible within their attack rotation. We have a couple of teams who are really always sticking to the same attack order. This time around, though, we have Musk attacking first, and that's a Queen Charge Hydra. And interesting enough, we have a box base, the first attack, the first base, where we have an anti-2-star setup on the defensive side.
Yes, very interesting. For a second I thought that Musk forgot his headhunter because his queen got so much damage, but in fact it was just the king with all these point defenses. But the queen got it done without the ability, and very interestingly, he's sending in the wall wrecker, the naked wall wrecker for the town hall, finding the tornado trap. But since the wall wrecker has so many hit points, it doesn't matter, so it's going to easily get to the town hall. And now the zaps come in to take out this especially this single target Inferno. Now let's hope the goblins are quick enough. So the queen goes to the outside. Let's see. Oh no, she steps into town, but she comes back just a little bit of damage on the healers, and now he will have to face the CC on this charge. But Town Hall, single Inferno already out of the way. It's going to be interesting to see if with the few spells he has left, he can get around this base.
Yeah, two ground expos on the back end. In addition to that, he's having air defenses, especially on the back end, around the scatter, around the top side, which are within the base. Now the rocket dudes are coming out, and we have seen many queens die to that. The queen ability is getting forced right away. But wait a second, the queen is surviving barely. We have seen so many queens go down to this, but he reacted nicely, even though he was concentrated on the Dragon Riders. And those are now coming in from the top side, but that air defense on the 9 o'clock side is staying alive because that king cannot reach it.
He's trying to keep the queen alive, but you could see her struggling while the Dragon Riders are actually doing a great job. But wow, the way that he let his queen survive with that few spells is just incredible. I mean, she beat it to the against the wall in between. Then she faced 3 point defenses plus another super minion from the CC, but he timed his invisibility spell perfectly, so the queen could take out one of the point defenses, and you can see this base is crushed. And to be honest, the base builder did a lot against this charge, especially with the CC, but Musk reacted perfectly on the fly. So great execution. Musk starting off where he ended last week with another beautiful triple, and Strut is in the lead now.
Yeah, especially such a creative way of using that siege machine, the Warraker, because he was scared of possible Blackmans. If you're out there wondering why he did not use the bullet, well, it was quite hard to check for Blackmans around that area. So instead, because there was no ground damage, he can just use the battle ram, and with that, he can secure the town hall in a way safer way to actually make sure that this tunnel is going down. He said it was close on time for the queen to pass into the right direction, but in the end, everything was timed perfectly. And with that, they are getting in the start they were hoping for. Strut is looking strong on the other side. Renegados really need to step up, because 11 stars on average is not going to be enough to beat a team like Strut. They need to put up the pressure and step up and get those 3 stars in. Otherwise, this is going to look not as convincing to get them further on in this tournament.
Yeah, we saw that Strut didn't struggle against the box space they were facing. I mean, the Strut players are very known for their incredible Legend League performances, and in Legend League you also face a lot of box spaces. So it's going to be interesting what type of base styles Renegados are going to use in the other attacks. But first, let's take a look what Mr. Jeff is going to do on this next anti-3-star base from Boom. And it seems that he is coming in with a air spam, the Hydra, in particular dragons combined with the Dragon Riders, the air hybrid as we also like to call it. And he's starting off with his heroes into the Eagle Artillery, actually a pretty common approach when it comes to this type of attack strategy. What do you think, Itsu? Will Strut Esports have foreseen this pretty common entry?
Yeah, that's the big question. One thing which I feel like at the moment, not sure how I feel about it, is the clan castle. Like typically you try to do that with avoiding the clan castle range, but this time they just do not care about the clan castle range at all, and now they have to deal with that lava hound instead. They have the blimp coming in as well, but there is no warden ability to cover for it anymore. This blimp has reached to get that town out of the way, and so far Black Mats are coming in too late, and this means the Yetis, which are inside that blimp, can actually take down the tunnel without any problems. But troops have split up way too much, which now is kind of costing him because there's a lot of defenses still left alive on the back end.
Yes, the troops are thinning out way too quickly, and this is what I talked about. Look at the Royal Champion, the back-end Royal Champion, running into Teslas, running into a double Skelly trap, and this is exactly what I meant when I said, did they foresee this entry? And it seems like they definitely thought a back-end Royal Champion could try to take out this 3 o'clock compartment. It defended well, and you can see the Expo getting repaired, staying up, but he still has the Queen ability. I mean, this is not lost yet, this attack, but he has to be very lucky to triple. Let's see the Queen banging on the wall. But the multi-inferno is killing her, and the single inferno is going to kill the remaining air troops. This seems to go south, and now Renegados are already with their back against the wall after just 2 attacks. But as we said before, Strut has to triple themselves first, and I always used to say to my team, when there's just 3 attacks in the war, nothing is for certain. There are 7 attacks left, and anything can happen. There can be a disconnect, which of course we don't hope for, but sometimes there can just be a player mistake, and you end up with a 1-star. So I think that Renegados know this as well. They will stay motivated, they will hope for defenses, and they will come back with another triple in the remaining 3 attacks. What do you think, Itsu? How would you cope with a situation like that? You know, you've been a pro player before, so you've definitely been in a situation where you are back on stars, but how would you keep yourself motivated?
I would rely on the person, the team, to keep me motivated. That would be my way to go. So, but yeah, overall, not the nicest position to be in, especially in this meta, which means as soon as we're getting into those top 8, into the top 6, into the top 4 teams of the world at the moment, starting with being like 0 out of 2 when it's coming down to the 3-star rate, it is not what you're looking for overall. Like, that's not enough in most cases, but at the same time, as I said it, you need to stay in this. I mean, there's nothing which you can lose at this point. Just keep trying. As you said, just hope for a great defense, maybe a couple of defense or even a 1-star. You still have the chance of coming back. But it seems like so far the Strut defenses, we have mentioned those defensive stats of Strut many times. They're just so good in the base building part of this game. And have to kind of get this in. And you said earlier, try hard. So far, still perfect. And or maybe it was us, but still, he's coming in again, and we have another box space coming in for Renegados, and now Tryhard has to approach this with another Queen Charge Lado.
Yes, very interesting. Another box space, and it was in fact Tryhard, who is still perfect for his team. So let's see if he can keep it up, but oh my god! Oh yes! Yeah, the Queen died. I saw that right away. The Queen stepped into the range. Unfortunately, he tried to use the rage spell as quickly as possible, but now he has to react on the fly. He had to put something in there because he is relying on this ground bow being tanked by one of his heroes. Originally, he planned for the Queen, so this flame flinger at the bottom of the base can do a lot of damage. But now he's reacting with the Royal Champion. Well, this is going to be interesting. The King is facing so much damage. What do you think is he doing here? He's sending his Royal Champion in front of the flame flinger. What do you think is the idea behind that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like he just had to take down the ground expo. I feel like otherwise this flame flinger would have been opened anyway, and now he's just taking as much damage off that tunnel as possible. Moment struggling quite a bit with that because the flame flinger HP is decreasing. As you know, flame flinger is losing HP over time. Otherwise, the siege would just stay alive for the entirety of the attack. But now we have the assassin hound flying over because at this point the Flamefinger is the only ground troop on the field. And even though the hound is not dealing a lot of damage, but it is dealing damage, and the Flamefinger is not having the most hit points in the town hall, has to go down, and Delano has to collect as many percentage as possible.
Yes, and I feel like we shouldn't have talked about this, about Tryhard keeping his perfect hit rate, because unfortunately the troops are thinking out really quickly. I mean, he's doing the best he can to adapt and to still get a decent two-star attack, but we can see the center multi-inferno will never go down. The troops are dying out, and it's basically just a warden trying to grab a bit more of percentage. But yeah, this is going to be the first fail for Tryhard actually in this competition, not just in the since the group stage, but in the whole competition. He was 8 out of 8, but that's what we always say. Everything can happen. Even such a skilled attacker in a very good form can throw down a rage spell too late, and then you get unlucky with the timing of the scatter shot, and the queen is down. But given that his queen died after taking out like 3 buildings, he did very well with reacting on the fly and saving a 2-star attack here. And I mean, they are still in the lead because Renegados haven't tripled so far.
That's right. So they still have their lead. They're still looking good overall in this match. So not the worst thing that this happened in this match. I mean, yes, maybe he's not happy about the attack himself, but I feel like for the match itself, there needs to be the first place for Renegados on the board first to get this Strat team in danger. I feel, at least like from our perspective, we know from our experience that in the team itself, at this point, you feel completely different. I mean, you always feel like not 100% safe, like even though if you have a lead like this. On the other side, though, right now, mental-wise, I feel like I would give the advantage to Renegados, just like how the players feel at the moment. I feel with getting the defense in, and at the same time, like having a fail like that on the Strat side, especially in that fashion, I feel like letting your queen die for her ability is always like a really like, oh damn, go next kind of approach, and that's never the best thing. So they now need the 3-star. This could get them back into this match, especially if you look on the percentage on the right side. The percentage game is looking in favor of Renegados.
Absolutely, and look at this. We saw a triple mini bomb at the top of the screen, exactly against this super goblin funnel, but Troy Goma luckily reacted very, very quickly because his queen was about to step up to this gold mine, but the second super goblin could then take it out in time. So you can see the very advanced base building of Strat that we always talk about. Now let's see how his queen gets into the town hall. It's looking good, but what about the healers? Will they be in range of the town hall? Yes, they will. What is he going to do? He places the invisibility spell. Very well done. Oh, he got so many seeking air mines triggered there. Incredible. Now let's see how he deals with this anti-queen charge CC. Oh, the queen is very low, and he pops the ability while he's starting the hybrid. Probably the best idea when you're not sure your queen will survive. Now let's see if he has enough.
I would expect a lot of traps in that compartment because we saw already this anti-queen charge tornado trap at the town hall. So this charge was baited since the beginning, but he luckily triggered that tornado trap with one of those first couple of troops which are running inside the base. We saw the quadro giant bomb location on the far right side. The king now is on the defensive side trying to defend that eagle, but the royal champ with that hunter is doing quick work. The queen losing her ability early means that she is going to go down now. And with that, the back end with the Tesla form is not looking too good now for Renegados.
Yes, the back-end Tesla farm is what you are always trying to achieve as a base builder, and as you said, it seems like they completely smelled this approach to this base. And I mean, you have the better memory when it comes to bases, and I feel like I've seen some kind of this charge already on a Strat base, but maybe I'm wrong. So maybe they were repeating something they saw in the past, but as we can see, it's he's running out of troops here towards the end of his attack. I feel like he still dealt very, very well with it, given that it was completely expected from Strat. Also, he didn't panic with the Warden. He kept the ward ability to get a little bit deeper into the base, but yeah, he definitely still lost a little too much. But to be honest, if he could have kept his queen ability through the CC, then the queen could have stepped into this single compartment that we still see on the board and maybe tanked a couple of the back-end defenses. So maybe the safe way to pop the queen ability wasn't the best, and we are actually in a position in this war where maybe at some point Renegados have to choose the riskier way with the possibility of a higher reward rather than the safe way, because they need to start tripling it soon.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like overall in this attack, a lot of things went in his favor. Like the king walking into the right scatter compartment, like triggering on its own a lot of spring traps, which is obviously not working against the hero. Then the next thing, the tornado trap. I feel like if that tornado trap would have not been triggered, I think it was by like a headhunter or something, which he did. That attack could have ended completely different, but then unfortunately he kind of like overreacted with his spells dealing with the clan cards. Like with Rocket Loons, you know what, you want to freeze the Rocket Loons and poison the super minions. He froze and poisoned the Rocket Loons, both. Like that was then the big problem where he lost his queen ability. I feel like even through the bait, he could have still made it with that genius move with triggering the tornado trap early. If he had the queen ability on the back end, you saw there was not much left. So really, really good attack still, depending on like how trapped or like based on how trapped this was, as you said, it's really nicely done. But now it's back to Strut and they can really take an advantage. Again, the box base is coming in. I mean, this looks quite similar to like one of the tribe bases, box bases, I think. I mean, I will see at some point we're going to see Stefan and chat writing if that is, but I think I have seen this space already. And we're going to have another attack with the super bowlers. We have seen them only twice now, both of the times within this match. So now the question is if Strut can 3-star it, since Renegados already got this 2-star in first place with their attack in the first rotation.
Yes, if you think this is a base from Tribe, I think so too. What I think is interesting is that he has one healer left. He didn't need it, he knew that because he was going to use the rage anyway, so he kept one healer that he can send directly onto his super bowlers, and they are going to be put in now. We can see the queen with the super bowlers and the healer following there, while the king and the siege barracks are clearing this top compartment. King ability is going to come soon, and then it's going to be very interesting. Where is she going? It seems like she doesn't want to go in. She's going to the outside. How many healers is she going to pull? And this is going to be interesting because, as we said before, you always want to take out the town hall at some point.
But I think this is actually perfect for him. I have used a couple of those box space in Legend, and this is how they fall, because the queen is now ignoring the hound. The hound is on those super bowlers, which just don't care about this defending clan castle. And this means the super bowlers are just tanking everything inside the base, while the hound is just completely useless. So I don't know if that was intended. I don't know if that was the plan, but it is brilliant because that's exactly how you beat those box spaces with those huge openings around the outside. Super bowlers take down the core, heroes take down the outside, and with that easily smashed. And take a look at how many spells it has left. The freeze, I just used the poison, the visibility spell, using the last couple of hero abilities, and this base is just gone. Really nicely done, and another 3-star for Strut.
Yeah, really, really good yo-yo, showing how it's done with the super bowler smash. And yeah, this guy is just crazy. His execution is usually so clean. Yo-yo, just one of the best players. Always a pleasure to watch him attack. And you are right. At the beginning, I was not sure about these healers. Had the queen pulled all of these healers, or like 4 of them with her, it could have gotten a little closer in the core, because there's usually so much damage dealt to these super bowlers. But since the healer stayed in the core, it was, as you said, it was actually perfect. The queen cleared so much. She even tanked the scatter shot on the right side. So yeah, this attack went really, really well. Good planning and good execution by Yo-Yo. And Strut showing no more weakness, at least not as much weakness as Renegados needed. So yeah, and it seems like box bases are the type of base that Renegados is going to go with in this whole match. It seems like there's not going to be another type, but yeah, Strut is not really struggling on them.
No, not really. You said it. And one thing if one of the bases are a known base, and we know Strat likes to play on Legends, so maybe they've faced a couple of the other bases as well. Like, we don't know if the first two bases were well-known Legend bases as well, and how much preparation Regatta's put into the defensive side, because not every team has like this top-tier base builder, so some of them are just relying on copying really solid bases, which is nothing wrong with, but you always have the risk of your opponent team knowing that base and knowing an entry how to actually work against that. But maybe they just knew that Strat already attacked that base and maybe baited an approach which they have done in the first place. And we have the next attack in again, a Queen Charge hybrid. So now I'm kind of scared that we see another bait when it's coming down to the hybrid and the spring traps, but I cannot wait to see it. Oh, the first Black Man. And now let's take a look at the Tornado Trap. The last time we have seen the Tornado Trap placed, that the Queen is getting rotated into the Town Hall. Let's see if they have this setup again on this base, or if it is different. They keep trying to trigger traps, which so far he's doing nicely, but the Tornado Trap seems like, at least for now, not visible.
Yeah, and he's sending the Hog Rider to test for exactly that. But the Hog Rider maybe going a little bit too far to the right side. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's very interesting that you talk about that, because in the first war, and there we go. Tornado is right there, as you called it. It's so very, very nicely. But this Doom was OP, pulling so many traps. But what I wanted to say, in the first war, we almost always saw the limb traps behind the Town Hall. As he's starting with the Hydra, the healers get targeted. This is not going great for him. Let's see, and do we see the hybrid traps again? Yes, the giant bombs popping, the spring traps as well. Do you see any chance for this attack?
No, not really. The entry was just way too obvious. I mean, even after the first bait, we as casters, we already called this bait out with the Tornado Trap and everything. So I'm surprised they're going for this, because they have seen in the first place already that this is not working. Now the free spell for the defending Queen and the defending Single Furniture, but the problem right now is for him that all of those troops are going into the core, which means this attack is going to finish on a really low percentage 2-star, because if you have a failed attack, whenever you have one at home, like, try to support the outside troops. With that, you're going to go for more percentage, because all of those percentage buildings are on the outside. They're not in the core. In the core, most of the time, they're those heavy defenses, and this is not what you're going for with your spells. And with that, 60%, I think so far, one of the lowest percentage Renegados really struggling with those baits from Strat. And if they're playing another Giant Queen Charge hybrid, please maybe go with the Town Hall Power Charge or something else. But those Town Hall charges, especially, we know from the beginning in which direction the Tornado Trap rotates, right? So the Tornado Trap, it was kind of, you could kind of see where the Tornado Trap is around the Town Hall. So please go for the Town Hall side, but the Tornado Trap is not going to mess up the entire Queen Charge. And so far, 2 out of 2 times they lost their Queen ability around the Town Hall, which is never a good sign for a Queen Charge hybrid.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like he could have done something better. He could have used a Super Goblin instead of the Hog Rider he sent in, because the Hog Rider went actually to the Expo, which was close to the Town Hall, while the Super Goblin wouldn't have gone anywhere else, because the Town Hall is the only storage building. But as you said, it's better if they don't charge the Town Hall at all in the next attack. But yeah, to be honest, it seemed like Esteban had given up a bit towards the end of the attack, because I noticed that he had this invisibility spell in his army composition until the end of the attack. And even though the Warden with the Owl was still alive, and then after the Warden died, just the Owl, he didn't start to use it. And I feel like he could have gotten 1 or 2 buildings more. And this is something that I feel like is very important. If you still have a chance, like a theoretical chance to win, you should always go for the highest possible result in any given attack. So use your spells to quicken the attack, use your spells to get more percentage points. But we are going into the next attack already. We have Ast, and wow, he is coming in with the Super Dragons, and this is really exciting, because Ast when the Super Dragons, before they got their recent nerf, Asp was using Super Dragons so much, and I feel like it has gotten a lot less after that. But maybe in preparation for this weekend, he has taken the Super Dragons out of the basement and experimented with them a little bit more. Itsu, what do you think about this? Do you think that Strut wants to surprise their opponents with that?
I mean, Super Dragons never really had been dead, right? Even though a lot of people like to call them dead because, I mean, Supercell nerfed them, so after Supercell has nerfed the troop, it has to be not usable anymore, right? So that's like the approach for a lot of people. But this attack so far is looking incredible. And again, we can see a true inspiration. Renegados really likes those tri bases because that's another one. So it's kind of surprising to see them use so many of those bases. Yes, they tweaked it a little bit, the tunnel compartment, but it's pretty much the entire base is the same setup. So Stefan, the true inspiration here for Renegados, and it's not paying off so far, unfortunately, because Strut is just wrecking those box-style bases. And especially, I mean, Strut and Tribe Gaming have faced off already many times, and they might even face off with how things look like in the next round of this competition. So for sure, those players have watched each other matches, so they're familiar with those bases, which is not really giving, I don't know, a lot of sense into copying the bases from Tribe. Like, it is really not getting into my head at this point then, but so far Strut really made good work of that with completely taking those bases out. The box bases have not worked so far, so nice job to Strut, and now it's back to Renegados.
Yes, exactly, and